I'm handsome, I'm fast, I'm pretty, and can't possibly be beat.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone.
They might be going to call George Brett out.
Well, he's out.
Yes, sir.
Brett is out. Look at this. Brett is out.
He's steaming mad.
He is out.
Swung, fly ball deep left center. Grissom on the run. Yes! The Atlanta Braves have given you a championship.
Auburn going after it. Here's a good snap. It is blocked. It is blocked. It's caught on the run. It's caught on the run. He's going to score. David Wagner has scored. And Auburn is tied the game.
It's good! It's good!
It's good.
It's good!
It's good.
It's good!
Van Tippen has won the ball game.
Alabama has beaten Auburn!
I'd like for the people to remember me as being a winner, because I ain't never been nothing but a winner.
Oh, wait, that's right. We actually know what we're doing and we know how to turn on audio. So welcome into the Total Chad Sports Podcast, where it's not 20 to 30 to 40 minutes of muted me just sitting here talking with nothing at all going through, because we actually know how to use our equipment, and it only takes one person to do absolutely everything in the Total Chad Sports Podcast, and we make it look flawless. We make it look so easy. We make it look like we've been here before. We make it look like we actually know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two, because we've been around a thing or two. So thank you. Welcome into the Total Chad Sports Podcast. This is 107 on the list. This is the Alabama SEC Media Days, recapping the MLB All-Star Game, talking what's going on this week around the Rocket City Trash Pandas. You also got this Friday, you got HCFC playing this weekend. So, and I mean, it's really, I mean, these next two home series for HCFC are much needed to win. So it's going to be a lot of fun today. We're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to try to get as much in as possible. We're going to try to break down everything that Kalen DeBoer, Caden Proctor, Tim Keenan, everybody, Deontay Lawson as well. We're going to try to break down everything they had to say in their Q&A. I wasn't able to watch the Kalen DeBoer Q&A. I don't know if I could find it anywhere. It seems like a lot of people are just taking other people's that aren't recording it themselves are just taking other people's stuff. So I don't want to really like go into that. I want to find one that's like the full thing, not just where they cut into it right when they started talking. So I want to get every question out and break down every question that was asked throughout the Q&A, but also the press conference that Kalen DeBoer had earlier this morning, which I'm sure like I couldn't get the Q&A because I was at practice, and during his press conference, it was during practice. So like I wasn't there for it. And so I had to go back, listen to it, go through all of it. It was like 30 minutes long, including the introductory from Greg Sankey. So, I mean, it's just one of those things you kind of, it's more like just a recap. Like it's more just like a review of what happened and just kind of enjoying it and breaking it down what I'm going to talk about. But what we can talk about is supporting the stream. If you'd love to support the stream in any kind of way, any kind of fashion, money me now, me needing money a lot now. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can actually go on Twitch and pay $5.99 a month for a subscription. So if you want to sub there, if you want to go to the Cash App or the Venmo, $ Coach Grizzle at Mass Braves, you can donate as well. If you'd like to donate to the stream, leave a little comment that says, hey, I'd like to donate to the stream. If not, if it's a donation that needs to go towards, the Greater Humane Society, or needs to go to the Walk to End Alzheimer's in some sort of way to try to raise funds and raise money for that, we can also do that as well. We're going to start putting that down in the Twitch area of the feed and everything like that. There's a way that you can kind of go into certain charities and be a part of them, and I'll try to see and look more and dive more into that. So if you want to be a part of that as well, but just to basically help the dream, help support something that I have been I'm just very devoted in, something that I very much appreciate and just take time in my craft to get better at, And what better way to help out and to sponsor the stream in any kind of way? If you want to be a sponsor and you want to pay more money, like that gets you like literally signage, that gets you digital, everything on top of the stream. We could play your commercials like during a break. We could take like technically a break and do commercials throughout, or basically, on this day in history can be sponsored by somebody. We could give, like coach takes. We're going to start some other things as well. Like certain interviews can be obviously, with certain, once we start implementing interviews into the stream, we can start putting some sponsorship on that as well. So if you want to help out and sponsor the stream in any type of way, what not better to do than just to kind of help somebody that is very devoted, very just emotional about this craft and just wanted to continue to get better and better every day and just get our foot in the door. Just something that we've always been passionate about, something that we've also we just absolutely enjoy doing every single day. That's why we're here with back-to-back streams. Like, holy crap, when have we done back-to-back streams on the Total Chad Sports Podcast? So we're going to try to get 3 to 4 during the week. I mean, I get it. I'm a busy person. I have a real job. So, like, at the end of the day, this is technically a hobby, but this is not a hobby. This is something that, like, I enjoy. Like, I treat this as a job. I treat this as something that I'm very, like I said, very devoted in, and I greatly appreciate it. Like, even Lady Bird is very appreciative of right now. You see what I'm saying? She is very thrilled that I'm here doing a podcast without her, helping me. But she's just mostly wanting to go outside, and I totally get it. I totally understand. But Lady Bird, we're trying to get through this right now. We're trying to keep it rolling, keep the ball rolling, and we're trying to keep this podcast alive, because every single day it makes it so difficult to just go in and take the time to do our research, to look at what we're going to talk about, to just find something that is going to stick and something that people are going to enjoy and watch and appreciate, whether it's whatever sport you're into, baseball, soccer, basketball, football, whatever, cricket, hockey, whatever. Like, we're trying to pickleball, whatever. Like, we're trying to find we're just basically, like we've said many times before, we are a podcast for the common man. We're a podcast for just people to enjoy. Like, that's the reason why we have the chat in the window, is to constantly have you a part of the channel. Like, most places like that do podcasts or just that do a live show or something like that, like, a lot of them don't give the opportunity to have just regular Joe Schmoes like me able to type and do all that other kind of stuff. Like, having a live chat throughout when you're going on and you're sitting there and you're just kind of like, you're going through some stuff, and you may be going through like early, like later, we're going to talk about Alabama at SEC Media Days. Like, we could sit here and talk about that all day. But then there could be a chat that could be going on the entire time that could be going about something else. You can talk about whatever you want. I'll constantly be looking at the chat to try to bring up whatever you want to talk about. Like, I have a squirrel brain. Like, I will literally start talking about something and go down a complete rabbit hole, but I'll constantly keep talking about something. And then I'll look over and I'll be like, hey, someone wants to say something. I will bring it up. You're right there in the chat. You are a part of the Total Chad Sports Podcast. It's not, even though it says the Total Chad Sports Podcast, it really isn't all about me. I am doing this for the watcher, for the listener, for the streamer. I'm just showing I'm showing a lot of people out there that this is not hard to do. If you're very devoted, if you're very emotional about it, if you take the time to actually appreciate what you do and just appreciate what you have in front of you, then, like, everything's easy. And it makes it so much easier on your life. It makes it so much easier on the podcast. And like we've said many times before, we just want to do it for you. We want to do it for the people out there that feel like, maybe they're not winning at times. Maybe they just feel like everything's kind of coming down on them. But realistically, you have family, you have friends, you have many people out there, acquaintances, whatever you want to call them. You have many people out there that want to see you succeed. And as hard as it might be sometimes, and as you might feel, or as low as you might feel, like, you got to realize that, like, you're doing this for a reason, and that you're actually pretty good at it. and that there are a lot of people out there that are constantly supporting you. So thank you to everyone that constantly supports the stream. Whether you're liking, subscribing, everything like that, dropping a follow on the X, or dropping a follow on the Twitch, dropping a follow on the TikTok, the Instagram straight flexing, like wherever you want to go, you can hit up at Guathany Chad, at Coach Grizzle TV, and you can find us there. You can leave a comment. Like, you can see all the content, obviously, that is throughout the Total Chad Sports podcast, or even when we're not there. Like, we're seriously on it every single day. Like, we'll talk about the MLB All-Star game. We'll talk about Hank Aaron's tribute. Like, everything was perfect in that night, and we wanted to be, I literally watched, I've never watched an All-Star game probably from beginning to end, and maybe it was because it was more Atlanta biased and everything like that, but I'm going to tell you right now, that was one of the best All-Star games I have ever seen in my entire life. I appreciated every aspect of that All-Star game except for the beginning. The whole pregame crap, the whole concert, the people dancing on the red carpet while people were walking out. That was a little cringe. That was a little weird. But like when it came to the broadcast, everything going out throughout the game, the uniforms, the mic'd up players, like everything was perfect about that. So let's try to make everything perfect about this stream by constantly subscribing, constantly following, constantly giving those views, taking 10, 15 minutes out of your day, whether you're doing your laundry, you're vacuuming around the house, you're cleaning up the house, you're cleaning the bathroom, whatever. Just have me on the big screen. Like, we have said this many times. This is no different than like ESPN. It's probably the budget is different and all the camera work and the audio work, but everything works. Like, we know how to use the equipment that is in front of us. Like, constantly understand that, like, you can go and watch this on the big screen. If you have a smart TV, you can watch this on your phone. Like, just leave it on for a few minutes, keep it up, and just keep rolling and keep doing what you're doing, but also constantly and support this stream to just get it off the ground. Like, obviously, we're not there in subs. That's not what I'm here about. Like, but the thing is, if you subscribe, it will constantly give you an update. And you can hit the little like button, you can hit the follow button, all those types of things. Twitch, YouTube, all those types of things. Where like you hit those buttons, you subscribe, you like, you follow, it'll give you a notification and it'll always be in your algorithm, whether you're going down the rabbit hole a lot of times like I do on YouTube Shorts, where it's like it'll go from like Vikings to History Marsh to some movie I've seen. Like, I mean, there's just so many different aspects of this algorithm that is in YouTube that will constantly just be updating. But it'll also show you, like I've said many times, it'll also show you when we're live. It'll tell you, hey, this show's live, or this show's about to go live. You can set up all those types of things. Like when you come and join the Twitch stream, like it'll say in the top left corner when you're following somebody, hey, so-and-so's online with so many people online and blah, 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 blah. We have Twitch goals where we need 1,000 followers. We have more followers on Twitch than we do, honestly, on YouTube. So, like, depending on whichever one is more popular, like, we could make it that one. That's the reason why subscribing on Twitch might be a little different than just throwing, that subscription through Venmo and Cash App, because we could just limit it to subscribers. We can do the same thing on YouTube. You could just limit it to subscribers. Like, it doesn't have to be open. So really going forward, we may still do that a couple of times, but we would love for obviously new people to join, see it for the first time, get an aspect of what this stream is about, what the podcast is about, and then be a supporter throughout, whether, like I've said, with views, with likes, with comments, whatever. Like we said, it helps us with our viewing time. If you take 10, 15, 20 minutes out of your day, putting it on the back burner, just have it playing while you're doing something, and it'll just greatly help the stream. And so, like, we constantly love it. We constantly help and support. You can go to twitch.tv/Coach Grizzle, or you can go to youtube.com/@CoachGrizzleTV, and you can find both of those there by using those links, and you can be a part of the fam, and you can ask whatever questions you want. Like we've said many times before, if you're an MMA fan like Kuda, You know, we'll talk man's fighting. If you like boxing, if you like other types of sports, like we will take our time to go in there, look at it and say, hey, boom. Or like we don't know everything. So if you ask us a question on certain things and we go and look at it, right? Then I'll go out of my way to go look at it and then ask you that same question too, because that's the whole point of the chat. That's the whole point of being here and being a part of the fam. That gives you an opportunity to be a part of this dream, to be a part of this podcast. So a lot of stuff going on around this sports world, even though it's like a weird dead period, like the only thing you're really getting on TV, because if you're not a baseball fan, the only thing you're really getting is like summer league basketball. You're getting the WNBA like we care. You might get some MLS games. I think Atlanta plays tonight. Like you're gonna get stuff that like not the common, like not the typical sports fan will be into. But it's like we've said before, like we're not a big nowadays wrestling fan. We like old school wrestling. Like not everyone's a soccer fan. Not everyone's a basketball fan. Not everyone's a college football fan. More people like pro than they do college football. It just depends on the region you're in. It just depends on the area you're in. But if you don't have much range and you're just talking about the same crap every single day, it gets very boring. And if you're not entertaining, then it's just like, well, okay, well then why are you even here? So like at the end of the day, like Lady Bird has more talent in her left paw than I have in this entire body. You know what I mean? Like Lady Bird can get the views. Lady Bird is the content. Like when we talk about an amazing dog named Lady Bird, which she doesn't really care. She wants to go outside. I know she does. She already had a treat. So she's like set right now. So she's going to nap for a little bit, let her dad ramble for as long as he can and try to keep the stream alive and try to keep it entertaining and talking about what's going on around college football, the MLB and everything like that. So it was awesome in my opinion last night. Last night was amazing. In my opinion, last night was amazing. The All-Star game ended in a 6-6 tie. Okay? The NL was able to get 2 early runs in the first inning. Ketel Marte knocked in Ronald Acuna all the way from first, by the way. Ronald Acuna hustled in an All-Star game. We don't want to talk about how bad the NBA basketball or the NBA All-Star game is, or even how the Pro Bowl is with their stupid ass dodgeball game. So you want to talk about, okay, it should have ended, like old guys, get off my lawn people are going to talk about how bad the swing off was at the end of the MLB All-Star game. I'm sorry. I liked it. I enjoy it. I thought it was entertaining. It's not like in football where right now they're having dodgeball games, or in basketball where they're just throwing up shots like they're Caitlin Clark because nobody plays defense on them. Like it's just one of those things like, I'm sorry, like I thought it was great. I mean, if you didn't enjoy the MLB All-Star game, you obviously aren't a baseball fan. But if you grew up being a huge baseball fan, you just like baseball in general, you're a huge whatever baseball fan, whatever, Braves, Yankees, Mets, whatever you want to be, Phillies. Like it was really good. Pete Alonso hit a 3-run bomb, made it 5-0. Carroll hit a homer, he made it 6-0. Then Rooker came up, he homered to left. He got a 3-run shot. Bobby Witt Jr. did it all pretty much by himself in the 7th and the 9th by making it a 1-run game. And that 1-run game was when Matt Olson over here making a huge play. Huge play at first. Let me bring it up real quick. This guy has range. I don't think Freddie Freeman has as much range as I saw Matt Olson have last night. Look at this play right here. I mean, look at this play. This is Matt Olson, people. Long, gangly, alien-looking man. Matt Olson over here making plays what a everyday shortstop should be making. Like, what in the world? And I've heard, and if you watch enough FanDuel, you watch enough radio broadcasts, or listen to enough radio broadcasts like I do with the Atlanta Braves, like, they have talked about, like, oh, could he play shortstop, blah, blah, blah. This man could play shortstop. This man has the range. This man has the glove. He ain't afraid to put his body on the line to get the ball. But to save it within 1 run in that 9th inning, I mean, that was huge. I mean, that was just absolutely huge. But then, you know, leave it to a typical Mets player in Diaz to basically blow the game in the All-Star game. Whether it might have been set up to where, you know, maybe we just go a little bit longer, get that TV time, do all those types of things. But they were able to drive in that last run to make it 6-6. And instead of getting Bud Selig of the group, instead of getting Bud Selig, as we like to call it, and ending the MLB All-Star game in a friggin' tie, okay, they went to a hit-off. And I'm telling you right now, that hit-off was awesome. I'm kind of mad that Dave Roberts wasn't able to put Matt Olson in that list, as he picked literally 3 players from the NL East. What's his name from Miami? He had Kyle Schwarber, and then he had Pete Alonso, the polar bear, at the end. What was the dude's name from? Because he went 0 for 2. Where is he at? What was that? Stowers. Kyle Stowers. Put Kyle Stowers out there, and Kyle Stowers was like, he like walked up to him, was like, hey, you're gonna go bat. Dude went 0 for 2 in the game. People had there was a lot of good. I mean, shoot, Matt Olson. That's the thing about Matt Olson. You can sit here and get mad all you want, and how the fans reacted, especially to Matt Olson not being elected to that home run runoff. But you're gonna sit here and tell me it's an all-star game, Matt. Stop acting like it's a regular season game and just watching a pitch go right down the middle. At least try to swing, okay? At least just give us a chance. Like, don't just go out watching a pitch. It is the MLB All-Star game. Clayton Kershaw went out there and was mic'd up the entire time. And this man had a good-ass time, even joking around the entire time. Like, I mean, my goodness, like, that was the really cool thing. Like, when did baseball get cool? That they started doing this right here, where Clayton Kershaw was just joking around, and he's like, oh, I'm going to throw a curveball, or I'm going to throw this. And then he asked Smoltz, he was like, hey, what pitch should I throw? And he said, I think he said, what was it, a slider or something? And he's like, I don't throw a slider. Like, it's just hilarious to sit here and just watch these types of players have a good time and enjoy themselves. And it was just awesome to see. Like, I hate the Dodgers. Like, I hate the LA Dodgers with a passion, but I've always been a big fake baseball also wore the correct uniforms. I mean, to give us the home versus away. We talked about it yesterday, the last few days, whenever you watch this podcast, we talked about it where we like the aspect, like literally it was right before this happened. We don't want these crappy Nike bullshit uniforms that you try to sell to the fan base for the All-Star game. Use it for the home run derby. That's fine. That's totally understandable. But if the NL team, like the Braves are at home, put the home team in their home uniforms. Put all the NL teams in the home uniforms like they did. The AL, put them in all the grays, all the dark colors, all those away jerseys that they wear. Now, I wish some of them had chosen, like, I wish the Yankees had chosen, like, the darker Yankees, but they were going to choose, like, the dark grays, which, obviously, it's the road jerseys. The Rays chose their blue jerseys. There were a couple other people that chose, like, the darker versions, like the Mariners and everything like that had the darker jerseys for the away. Like, make baseball fun again. Make baseball cool again. Like, try to grab that younger generation like you've constantly done in the past. Like, that you're trying to do, really. You haven't really constantly done in the past. I think what you've recently done, I guess, since the emerge of Shohei Ohtani, but like Shohei Ohtani with, I'm over here just showing everyone's text too. With Shohei Ohtani, being a part of Fortnite. Like, just grab that younger generation so everybody knows. Like, so everyone knows what you're talking about. Like, the aspect of just being a part of that and just giving this a whole thing, like, This was so cool just to be able to sit here and enjoy what they were talking about and listening to Clayton Kershaw talk. I mean, he just had a good time out there. And that's what it should be about. Like, this is the best all-star game, in my opinion, because guys are actually hitting the ball. Guys are actually throwing pitches. Guys are enjoying themselves. Like, Clayton Kershaw wasn't the only one mic'd up. I think you had Pete Crow Armstrong was mic'd up. Matt Olson was mic'd up. I can't remember who else was mic'd up. Coolest thing ever. We're going to break that down in just a second because we had to get that through. Like, we had to talk about that because that, in my opinion, was the coolest thing ever. Another thing would be really cool if somebody and we retweeted this as well, if somebody could re-sign or sign Trey Mancini. Like, maybe the Orioles should do one good and bring him back. Maybe the Braves should give him a chance in the outfield. This man has literally overcome cancer and is playing lights out ball right now. This was just yesterday. He's 92 for 299 with a 308 average. He has 16 home runs, 16 doubles, and 62 RBIs with a .85 on. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, that's insane for a guy that is like the ultimate, like, that is a movie. You make a movie about Trey Mancini and what he's been able to overcome and what he's been able to do to become the baseball player and just continue to like live his life and enjoy the sport that he loves. I mean, that's just something that is so cool. Like, how can you not appreciate that? And something that you could really appreciate because it was just so cool. And I want to give love to obviously it was on MLB, but it was on Fox. I want to give love to the Twitter account that had it instead of putting it on mine. But how about this tribute last night? Let's go ahead. That was absolutely amazing. That was the coolest tribute I've ever seen ever as a baseball fan for any baseball player ever. And what way to honor the ultimate dude, Hank Aaron, the GOAT. I mean, it's just crazy that the Braves were at 44 and 45 before the All-Star break in 2021. And to go on the run that they were able to go on and win the World Series, it just feels like it was yesterday. And it was just so many chills. And you just felt like, you know, everything was right in that season. It was something that as a kid, growing up as a Braves fan, that like winning that title for the first time since you were like 5 years old and being able to be old enough to watch every game and remember every aspect of that World Series and to go on and beat a team like the Astros, who are just right now, even still, it seems like are the face of the AL, and just it's always going to be a problem every single year for whatever team to come out and try to beat the Astros. And as bad as it can look for them, whether it's injuries or whatever, they're still able to get to the point of, you know, contending for the World Series. So I just got to say that was the coolest thing ever. I thought that was absolutely amazing. Rest in peace to Hank Aaron. And man, I'll just tell you right now, like, MLB had it right. Like, the MLB had it right. It was one of the coolest things ever. Like, the fact that you get mad about it being like, if you want to call it PKs in soccer, like if you're mad that this swing off here wasn't fun, then you're just some old angry man that like hates baseball. Because it's like it's almost comparable to, like we've said before, like, stop making movies for the younger generation for like older aspects of like cartoons or whatever, like or action figures or whatever, like G.I. Joes, you know, whatever. Like, stop doing that. Because the people that are paying for it are the ones, like, are adults now. Like, they were kids at one time. They want to bring their kids, obviously, to the new age Superman, right? Like, so, like, the new age Superman. Like, guess it works for the younger generation because it's not the Superman like older generation is based on, right? Or, like, maybe even, like, Henry Cavill is Superman. You know what I mean? Like, It's just different. This right here, this is different because as bad as baseball has been when it comes to trying to grab the attention of the younger fan, because everybody wants to be a football player. Everybody wants to be a basketball player. Okay, maybe not so much in the U.S. because the last 7 MVPs, or 8 MVPs, I guess now, in the NBA have literally not even been from the United States. So whether it's whoever, like, kids should want to be baseball players. You know what I mean? Like, kids should want to be football players. I get that. Kids want to be basketball players. Nobody wants to be a soccer player. Not too many kids in the U.S. really want to be hockey players. Okay, but the big 3, especially in the South, football, baseball, basketball. Like, those are the 3 sports that you really have to grab the attention of the younger fan. And I'm sorry, this swing off was the perfect thing. I mean, Kyle Schwarber to be able to hit 3 home runs and gain the lead for the NL after Rooker hit 2, Stowers hit 1, Rosarena hit 1. You didn't even need Pete Alonso because a guy who, I'm sorry, Aranda, whatever, he was wearing number 62. Okay, not too many people have high numbers that are really good players. So I'm sorry, when I saw Schwarber go up there, I'm like, oh, here we go. Schwarbombs for the win. Because literally, I mean, it was Schwarbombs for the win. The dude went out there, 3 home runs in a row, makes the NL up on top. all it would have taken was Aranda to hit 2 or 3 to try to get the lead back. And then, you know, you would have had the polar bear out there and Pete Alonso to try to finish the game. But I'm kind of glad that Pete Alonso didn't go out there and possibly choke away the game, just like Diaz did in the 9th inning. Okay? As a Braves fan, this is the only time, I'm going to tell you right now, this is the only time that you are going to see me applaud a Philadelphia Phillies player. Okay? This is the only time that you're going to see me give recognition to a Philadelphia Phillies player, because here's the thing. Schwarber needs some money. And I would love to see AA do something crazy and throw some mad money at Kyle Schwarber, whether it's playing in the outfield or being DH, because I'm sorry, like, that would be really cool to see Kyle Schwarber, Ronald Acuna, and Michael Harris in the outfield. Then guess what? You don't have to do these crazy takes where you're saying that Austin Riley should turn into Chipper Jones and go in the left field. Like, I'm sorry. Give me that opportunity, okay? If there's some way that the Atlanta Braves could sign Kyle Schwarber, that would be absolutely amazing. I thought that was awesome. I thought the home run off was great. I think it's just something that, like, it's for the fans. It's not for you at home. Like you at home, like, you're just gonna watch it either way. At least like we said before, at least we didn't get Bud Selig and they end it in extras because they don't want the players to get hurt or they don't have enough players to do whatever, and then just call the game instead of actually ending it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I really did enjoy that. And finally, after, 12 plus years, the NL has 2 wins against the AL. And whether it took this new way to do it at the end, I'm all for it. I thought it was great. Like, I'm gonna constantly support it because I thought it was so cool. Before we get into football, let's talk about the Rocket City Trash Pandas one more time, because we always get to at least talk about them. Not doing so hot in the second half, but they got to take on Columbus, who hasn't really been doing so hot in the first half as well, just like the Trash Pandas. But they're doing pretty good here in the second half. And the Baby Braves get to come to town. And Friday is Friday Night Fireworks. Saturday is fireworks as well. But Friday night is Titans night. Let's see, you got Margaritaville on Saturday, so they're going to have a cool Margaritaville jersey. Would be really cool, you know, if you wear the Margaritaville jersey in the lazy... Oh, that's right. There isn't a lazy river, and there's not a Margaritaville in the outfield. I forgot, because all of that was, I think, a joke or was a hoax or was never going to get developed in the first place. Because in my opinion, you better put like a if you were going to put a hotel there, you better put like some kind of parking deck or something like that in the near vicinity, because not everybody can park in the paved area. And to be honest with you, like, they greatly benefit from their gravel parking area that is in like right center field of Toyota Field, because it kind of helps with the traffic too as well. But yeah, like, it's going to be really fun. I still haven't gotten my, and I'm not trying to go Wyndham Rewards. I still haven't gotten my Columbus Clingstones hat because it kept messing up on the internet. So I'm going to have to figure out a different way to pay for it. It would be really cool if like other teams could like bring apparel with them, with the team, and just set up a booth and like let them pay, and then maybe pay like a stipend to the Trash Pandas or whoever the home field is. So like you get the opportunity to buy that, because I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be there's going to be a lot of Braves jerseys at this game. There's going to be a lot of Braves hats, because there already are. There's going to be a lot of fans that love the Atlanta Braves. It's been like that ever since the Stars. Like, ever since the Huntsville Stars. You could go in there, people wearing Braves stuff all the time, because this is Braves country. And as much as like their commercials talk about their state troopers and all this other stuff, talking about Braves country, you know, and they have that "We Are Braves Country" shirt, which I have one of those that has the state of Alabama on that. It really doesn't feel like that in a way, because I feel like they give North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Tennessee more of that love, especially with their state troopers, when it comes to the commercials, everything like that, just being, quote, Braves country. I'm telling you, I could walk outside right now, and I guarantee you every third person or every fourth person is wearing a Braves hat or is wearing a Braves shirt. Okay? Like, this is Braves country. Like, I grew up watching TBS, Turner South, Sports South, Peachtree TV, whatever the hell it's called nowadays, where I was either watching it on TV, which, by the way, it should be back on television anyway, or I was listening to it on the radio. And this was long before I even got into working for sports radio and working as a technically an affiliate for the Atlanta Braves. I used to listen to it all the time. Like, it didn't matter what station it was on. It didn't matter what television station it was on. Like, I was hooked. Like, I'm a TV movie kind of person. So, like, in me in general, like, I love that aspect. Like, that's the reason why I've always wanted to work in it. That's the reason why I've always thought that I could do it. And that's the reason why I feel like that we could do a podcast talking about certain sports or talking about certain teams and giving our take on what's going on around the sports world, because we're so devoted into it. Like, it's just always been there. So really excited about this weekend. Before we go down a rabbit hole, really excited about this weekend. The Columbus Clingstones Clingstones, whatever you want to say it, however you want to pronounce it, come in and play. The Baby Braves come in and play the Baby Angels. So we got Trash Pandas versus Clingstones. We'll see what happens with. I wonder, like, who's gonna start for the Clingstones. Like, let's check. Let's see if they have anything on possible starters or anything. Let's go to Columbus. I wonder who they might have starting for. Doesn't say yet. Let's see, there's a preview. Let's see if they have anybody previewed yet. They don't have any probable pitchers as of right now. But if we look at the roster, you could have, which it would be fitting, but he's on the disabled list, I believe. I don't know if he's playing or not. It would be fitting if Colton Ingram made an appearance. Is he in it? Let me see. Yeah, he's in the injured 7-day. It would be cool to see Colton Ingram, a former Trash Panda, come out and play against his old former team. But we could probably see JJ Negro, Ian Mejia. We could see Darius Vines, who we haven't seen in quite a while, it seems like. Drew Hackenberg could probably be out there to pitch. I know I've seen him in the past. J.R. Ritchie. We could have seen J.R. Ritchie but he's going to Gwinnett. So it's not fair. I hate him, Braves. You could have just waited a couple more days before calling up J.R. Ritchie to Gwinnett, and we at least could have seen J.R. Ritchie pitch against the Trash Pandas. Yeah, he pitched in the Futures game, all of that kind of stuff. I don't want him to get resent back down, but damn it, Clingstones. Why couldn't we have J.R. Ritchie for one game? Because I know we're probably, like I said, we're probably either going to get Lucas Braun, Drew Hackenberg, Ian Mejia, JJ Necro, Darius Vines. Like, that's going to be possibly, like, Darius Vines is on the injury 60 days, so we're not going to get him. So Ian Mejia, JJ Necro, same thing. I think he hurt his elbow or something. Like, Ian Mejia. Like, you know what I mean? Like, give me Ian Mejia. Give me Drew. It's going to be Ian Mejia, Drew Hackenberg, or Lucas Braun. Like, those are the three you're going to get probably in this series. They may have somebody out there that I don't know that is... see, Drew Hackenberg is on the injured 7-day list. Maybe he comes back. Landon Harper, maybe. So, like, everyone I keep looking at, I'm not even really looking at that. I know you as well. You look familiar, madam. And by the way, I just want you to know, I have seen you on the Fortnite, and I have asked to join. Okay? I have asked to join, madam, and you do not invite me. So let's look around the position players that are probably going to be there. Some of the guys that you probably would not know. Know zero of really anything about the infielders because it just seems like all the infielders have been picked. There's really like here or there. Don't really know. Exposito, maybe. Cal Conley. Drew Compton. Like, those are going to be a few guys that you're going to enjoy watching. But I'm really looking forward to a lot of the pitching because it just seems like they've plucked so many guys from the Clingstones to throw into Gwinnett, but then take back to Gwinnett and then throw back into the Clingstones active roster. So don't really know who will probably be on the mound for the Trash Pandas. So kind of got to look around that too. Alda Gary got called up, so it won't be him. Maybe George Klassen. I know Jose Quinata will probably be out there in relief. Sammy Natera, he'll probably be out there in relief. Maybe Urania. Walbert Urania. Houston Harding, maybe. But you still got your guys. You still got your dudes. Miles Emerson at catcher, Sam Brown, who was back-to-back player of the week. Ben Goebel, who's been raking. Denver Guzman, who's the young stud. Mac McCroskey, who's a young stud. Nelson Rada, he's back. I like Joe Redfield. He's pretty damn good, too. Oscar Colas, like, hitting home runs left and right. Like, this is going to be a really fun 3-game series, even though it's such a short and little series between the Trash Pandas and the Clingstones, because I feel like that, like, you're really doing us a disservice to not have a 6-game set against these teams, because they've done it in the past and have been able to see Michael Harris, Baseball Hernandez, all of these types of players, Nacho Alvarez, come through and play for the Mississippi Braves. So we're not going to get a series until late August, which I'm already going to be a month into working. And I probably will at least go to Dog Night on the 27th with the bird. So to finish it out, they still got to go the rest of this month. They got to go to Biloxi. Then they got to go to Birmingham. Then they go to Columbus. Then they go to then they go to Columbus. Then they have a home against Knoxville. Go to Birmingham. Come back home and play Columbus. And then to finish out September, they've got 2 series left. 1 away, 1 at home. And they got to go against Knoxville. And then the much hated Chattanooga Lookouts, who just literally, I mean, the Trash Pandas, like I've said, are like 6-21 against the Chattanooga Lookouts. Like it's not good. All right, so let's talk about a little bit of football before we get to the main football segment. Do it quick because really not too many care. It's soccer. Like we know you don't care. Huntsville's taking on Columbus Crew 2. I think they're like the worst team last time I looked in the East, so there's really no excuse to come out and lose in this game. They're sitting at 11th overall ranking wise, but they're sitting at 5th, 6th, right there tied at 5th and 6th in the East, and the top 8 make the playoffs. So would really suck to see and sit here and listen to all the excuses that the franchise will make about being young or whatever and blah, 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 blah. But it would really suck to see this team flop after the way they started the season and the way they've been able to sit at like 3rd, 4th consistently in the East and be in the top 7, top 10, every week overall for a young team like them. But to go out at home in Christmas in July, on Friday, on the 18th, to go out and lose to one of the worst teams in the MLS Next Pro in your conference, and then to go out and Orlando City is that team right above you that you're tied with, but they have the tiebreaker and they play them 3 times this year. They play them 2 times away and they play them 1 time at home. So they're going to get Orlando City later on again in September, but they're going to have to win that next game, which is next Friday against Orlando City, which will be Space Night, to go up against Orlando City B and win that game and then win that other game in September, because like wherever you're finishing, and if like they're 8th and you're 9th and you lost because of the tiebreaker, like that's on you, or you have less points, or like it's tied and it's the tiebreaker, and the tiebreaker is they beat you 2 out of 3 times. Like that's the issue. So we don't want to see this. We don't want to see the HCFC club literally flop on their own face like they did in the first year, because I've seen almost every game at home. If not, I have paid attention to every single game in the last 3 years now. That first season was disgusting to sit in the booth and watch them just lose games that they shouldn't lose. Or like we've called them in the past, HCPKs. Okay, HCFC PKs or HCPKs, whatever you want to call them. Because literally they'll go to a PKs and lose, or go to a PKs and somehow win with the skin of their teeth. Like, just don't do it. Figure it out. Like, get it right. All right. So we're done with baseball talk. We're done with football talk. So now it's time to get into American football talk. We talked about it yesterday. We posted a couple of shorts on YouTube and talked about certain things that Hugh Freeze had to say, Jackson Arnold had to say, Connor Liu had to say, and Keldrick Falk had to say in their questionnaires. Well, today's Alabama Day. And by the way, I think yesterday we forgot what the other team was. It was Tennessee we forgot about. So, like, really, I didn't pay attention to any of what Josh Heupel had to say. I listened to Kirby Smart a little bit. I listened to some other coaches throughout. I listened to Jeff Lebby today because, like I said, I love Mississippi State. I would love to go to more Mississippi State games and cover Mississippi State if I got the opportunity. So like got to talk about what Jeff Lebby was talking about, all the fundraising, the additions, like indoor practice facility, all those types of things, so that they can be competitive within the SEC. But it was Alabama Day, and Kalen DeBoer was like early, like I think the first interviews, like he was early. Do you think Nick Saban would ever be that early? Like I feel like that was just like a disservice to the Alabama Crimson Tide, especially with all the different teams that are going on today. Like, I just think it was a disservice to the Crimson Tide. And maybe that's just a little bit more Tide bias, whatever. But it was a really, I mean, I didn't get to see the question A. I don't know. I'm sure he had a question. I'm sure he had a Q&A later. but I didn't see anything on YouTube that I could watch, so I just had to watch the press conference. So we kind of broke down and took a bunch of notes because we actually take our time and actually do research before we come out, and then just instead of spouting bullshit out of our mouth, we actually like to come out with some facts, or at least some opinions on facts that that were throughout the day. So to start it out, he addressed everything about, you know, the players that he brought, just how to build on the next season, and then just talked about, you know, key starters that were set key starters, everything like that. Talked about losing 8 seniors, 2 on defense, or 2 on offense, 3 on defense, and 3 on special teams. Played the most freshmen on special teams in the entire league. They lost their punter, kicker, and long snapper, who were all experienced in the special games department. And talking about how he was undefeated at home, but he struggled on the how they struggled on the road. They start the season to take on Florida State on the road. He had talked about who in the SEC will stop the streak of national championships. You know, obviously the last 2 have been within the Big Ten with Michigan and Ohio State. Like, that just shows you how good, like, those 2 teams obviously really were. Because, like, we don't live in a world where, like, Alabama and then Auburn wins one, right? Or Auburn won one and then Alabama comes back and wins one. Like, it took a couple of years. Like, you know what I mean? But it was still SEC dominance. Who in the SEC will start the streak of the national championships? SEC is just dominant from top to bottom. Everyone talked about it in, like, all of these Q&As where it's just like, you can go away and it's hard to play, or you can do certain things and it's a tough environment. Like, you go to Arkansas, Kentucky, wherever, like, it's going to be a tough environment from start to finish to try to get a win out of there. You know what I mean? Like, it's tough. Vanderbilt, you know what I mean? Vanderbilt coming out of nowhere and being able to win at home against the Crimson Tide. Now they get to go send over there and play against Alabama at Alabama. So that's going to be a tough hill to climb, especially for a team like that, especially with an experienced quarterback like Diego Pavia that is going to be obviously headlining everything that whole weekend. That's all they're going to talk about is how Vanderbilt beat Alabama last year. You know, that's all it's going to be about. And then it's going to be about the comments that were said about squishing an ant and all this kind of stuff with Ryan Williams, what he said about Vanderbilt. So, and I heard a lot of, like, positive things about him too, like how he is and how he carries himself and everything like that. And everyone always talks about, you know, like Jalen Hurts talks about and Tua would talk about, like, keeping the main thing. Like, that didn't sound like to me from Ryan Williams, keeping the main thing. That just sounded like you said something that turned into a soundbite and turned into a viral thing. And you just pulled the same bullshit that the Florida State quarterback talked about how, like, Alabama's nothing now without Saban and blah, 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 blah. Like Concepcion or whatever his name is, or whatever the hell that dude's last name is, or whatever his hell is. I think I was the wrong person. I think I'm talking about the Texas A&M wide receiver. But the guy from Florida State, the quarterback that's there, talking about, you know, how Alabama's not Alabama anymore because Nick Saban's not there. He's going to find out real quick in that first game. And it seems like a lot of players are ready to come out and be focused by August 30th. So, every team in the league can win on a given Saturday is what he said. Thoughts on future SEC schedules, he said, is beyond him right now. But he's very positive and thinks that it's very, you know, it's very positive, obviously, to have strength in the schedule. Like, a lot of people talk about it. Shane Beamer even talked about it. Like, they have a strong schedule, have to play Clemson, all those types of things. Like, that's a really difficult schedule. Texas A&M's playing Notre Dame. Arkansas's playing Notre Dame. Like, playing games that are non-conference games that aren't gimmies. You know what I mean? Like, not like Mississippi State playing Southern Miss because they need to be able to recruit in Hattiesburg. You know what I mean? Like, those types of things. Like, not playing Mercer, not playing Kent State. You know what I mean? Like, playing actual teams throughout the year. That's the reason why Alabama's playing Florida State away, playing Wisconsin at home. They have so many other games that are in the future as well. But who knows what'll happen when this possible expansion or this possible change in schedules that could really just mess it all up. Did year one live up to the Bama standard to him? He said internally, no. They fell short of making the playoffs. Lots of things he is proud of, and just proud of the progression that the program has been able to do. He's focusing on the main thing. That's why I said keep the main thing the main thing. That's just all they care about. Like, it's keep your nose to the ground. It's walk silently and carry a big stick. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that my wrestling coach used to tell us all the time. Like, don't worry about rankings. Don't worry about where you're seated. Don't worry about who you got to go up against in a possible wrestle off in a tournament, whatever. Like, just go out there and walk silently and carry a big stick. Go out there and surprise people. Go out there and you could be the 8th ranked person in the state, and you can go out there and go up against the 1st ranked person in the state and beat the crap out of them. You know what I mean? Or pin them. Like, so that's the thing about Alabama. It's like, don't listen to the quote rat poison and just continue to do what you're supposed to do. Players who have stood out on defense to replace someone like Jahad Campbell. He said LT Overton jumps out. Quay Rusaw. He said a lot of the underclassmen are doing a nice job and the progress they're making as well. Wanted to discuss the QB room, and he said all 3 guys are making taking meaningful snaps. Ty Simpson, Austin Mack, Keelan Russell. It basically just ranked them based on their experience in the scheme and the offense. He said Ty Simpson would be the starter. Austin Mack is 6'6", 235. I think it was it was either, I don't think it was Tim Keenan. I can't remember who talked about the quarterbacks, but it was like, or maybe it was Caden Proctor. Caden Proctor talked about the quarterbacks where they're all athletic. They're all mobile. They all can do certain types of things with their legs and be able to extend plays. So it just seems like whoever the best fit is, they'll figure it out and they'll get it hashed out. But it seems like everyone has a grasp of the offense, and it seems like everyone's experienced in their own way, whether it's being there, being around the program, being around the scheme, or just being athletically gifted. Ryan Grubb adjustment without him and now having him in T-Town. They said someone you've coached for like 10 plus years, like 12, 13 years. Thinks he did an amazing job. Things happen for a reason. This is great to be added to their staff, and he's just going to make them all better this fall. Confident on whoever is named the starting quarterback. He said QB competition is good for the guys. Handling pressure is critical for them to win the job. Talked about his time at Washington and being able to play Texas and beat Sark. And said, what about those games gave him an edge? And he just said players were making plays when you needed it. And he also had comments on saying, Steve Sarkisian is an elite football mind. I mean, when he was at the Atlanta Falcons, like, it was like the offense didn't skip a beat since Shanahan blew the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So also talked about, someone asked him about his 15-3 record versus top 25 teams, but he's 10-13 against unranked teams and just how to win those games that you're supposed to win. And all he said was learn from mistakes and fight to the very end. I mean, you should just be able to win those games. Like, you should go out there and be the Nick Saban of the world and just beat the crap out of the teams you're supposed to beat, but also have a really good, obviously positive top 25 record as well. His thoughts on Nick Sheridan, getting him back as well, as he's the co-OC and the quarterback's coach. He was impressed on his offensive mind, but his football mind, the way he recruits, and the way he preps the team, and then the relationship that he has with Ryan Grubb. So it's going to be very positive throughout the year. Tim Keenan met with the media as well, and they asked him, what can you tell about some of the workouts over the summer and how it went? He said he went very well, guys putting in work, the whole defensive line putting in work. He said Coach Ballou is doing a really good job of keeping everybody strong and getting them in the right position. Players, they're not very good at interviews. They say very little stuff. They're not like coaches that have to give this long-winded, unnecessary explanation of 8 different things about one thing. So it's coach talk, and this is player talk. So it's going to be very short. Last year's defensive issues, like trusting their ability and culture and playing a complete game. He was asked, could the secondary be the best in college football? And of course, he believes in his team, and he says the potential is there, but they need to go out and they need to produce. Talking about the brand that is Alabama football and how it helps with recruiting. He says it is a business, but it's definitely a family feel to the program. They say that players will host other recruits. Like, he barbecued and made all this food and had people over, and we're just enjoying time to get to know recruits, to try to get them to come to Alabama and see and let the recruits see what they're going through and the great aspects of their life within the program. Some standouts that he asked about through the summer. He didn't really want to call anybody out because he didn't want to forget anybody. He just said, get ready for when they play. The LSU game was possibly the best last year. It was like possibly his best game last year. And the thoughts of LSU coming to Tuscaloosa, approach every week with his best, execute on all cylinders. It's the SEC. It's the SEC. Every game is going to be a great game. One of the media members spoke with his dad. What is it? And just asked him, what does it feel like being a leader and representing the Tide, being an Alabama guy? He said he's so Roll Tide. He's so Alabama. He's been watching since he was a kid, and he's just happy to be where he is. So Tim Keenan III is like the Alabama guy. Alabama plays UGA for the first time in 10 years at UGA. So night games on the road in the SEC are just difficult in general. They're just a different environment, a different animal. UGA is a great opponent to go up against, and he said it's just going to be fun to play in Athens. Comparing Ryan Williams' stardom, or his superstardom, he said he's wise beyond his years. He carries himself. Even though his name's Hollywood, he's far from that mantle. He loves his work ethic. He's 18 now, which was a joke, because everyone talks about him being 17. So just absolutely appreciates what Ryan Williams is able to do football wise. Grilling for the recruits and rate the grill game, he was asked. He said he's really good at chicken, hot dogs, all those types of things. He said he's going to work on his brisket, and there were some other things he talked about, but it was just, he's obviously very adamant about making good food too. Narrative getting old, Ryan Williams being 17 years old during the season. He said when he makes a play, he says he's screaming that too, that he's 17 years old. Said what he does is just absolutely amazing. Watching him in practice is amazing. He's just honored to be a teammate with Ryan Williams. What do you want different in 2025? Overall dominance, play to the whistle, overall winning the whole game, hardest way you can. Talked about Jalen Mbakwe moving from defensive back to wide receiver, and his transition, said should be very easy. He's very coachable, and that he's definitely able to do it. Important things to be ready for in the 2025 season. Stay ready to get ready. Know the calls just to be ready. And when the time comes, he's talking about important things for guys to come in and replace, or come in and get their chance to play for the defense. And he said just to stay ready, to get ready, know the calls just to be ready. And when your time comes, you aren't looking around for help. Caden Proctor talked about met with the media as well, and talked about the QB battle, and how, what he knows about the three guys. Talked about the development with Keelan Russell. Ty Simpson, like I said earlier, he's experienced for 4 years now. He knows what to do. Austin Mack, he's big, athletic. He knows the scheme. So he's been around Kalen DeBoer. He knows that's the reason why he got recruited by Kalen DeBoer. All three are going to do their job well. First message to some of the offensive linemen in the group, like freshmen and newer guys. He's been through some hard things, and he doesn't want them to go through the same that he had his freshman year with all the giving up the sacks and everything like that, and that he's an open book and that you can talk to him and look to him to get any guidance that you need. Talking about Ryan Williams' flash last year and thoughts behind the scenes, he said he's a funny, goofy guy with his TikToks and everything that he does, his little dances. He's not afraid to be himself. Thoughts on Cam Dewberry, the offensive lineman that's a transfer from Texas A&M to the Crimson Tide, because just like we talked about before with 6 or 7 guys on the offensive line for the Auburn Tigers, Kalen DeBoer said the same thing about his offensive line, and Caden Proctor has said the same thing too about that offensive line, where there are 6 or 7 guys that can be called upon, young guys, transfers, whatever, that can come in and play right away and do a good job. But he talked about Cam Newberry. He's been through other tough environments. He's an experienced player. He's an older player. He's actually older than Caden Proctor. He can teach Caden certain things, and then they can feed off another. So the same thing you heard with Connor Liu and his interior line, they can feed off of another. Rotation of 6 offensive linemen, which we just talked about. Every offensive lineman will work its tail off in every aspect, and to highlight the freshmen, to talk about how they were just ready to work and they were ready to get out there and just be effective football players. Thoughts on what FSU, the quarterback from FSU, had to say about Bama? He said, don't focus on outside factors, mainly rat poison. Just working on what's right and what's right in front of them. Talked about the UGA game last year and how well they were able to beat Georgia. Said everyone did their job to the best of abilities, and the SEC is tough. I mean, they went up 28-0, but it's like you can't keep a team like that down for long. I mean, that's the reason why UGA's been able to do what they've been able to do and to win back-to-back national titles. I mean, Kirby Smart's a great head coach. He's going to get the Georgia Bulldogs in the right frame of mind. And to play at a night game at Georgia, that's going to be tough. And then the growth on Kalen DeBoer, he says more in his second year, says he's more comfortable, said it's tough coming into the SEC as a first-year head coach. I mean, this has been the most successful head coach since since back in the day, way back in the day. This has been the best start for first-year head coach at the University of Alabama. Kalen DeBoer 9-4, should have been probably 10-3, probably should have been 11-2, but this is the best that a first-year head coach has done. Better than Saban too. Saban went 6-7, right? I saw some of those games. All right, I saw the Arkansas game. Then everyone was like, "Oh, they're going to be great." Blah 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 blah. The next week they lost to Georgia. Right? They lost to Oklahoma State. Okay, it's going to happen. All right, but I don't think that Alabama's going to regress from a 9-4 season. Interesting. SEC welcome to that. Someone asked me yesterday, over under 7.5 for Auburn. Auburn has a really good, favorable schedule. They could win 8 to 9 games. There's no excuse if they can beat Texas A&M and Georgia. And I think Texas A&M's on the road and Georgia's, I think, is at home. So if you can get past those 2 games, there's no chance. I mean, there's a really good chance that you could win 8 to 9 games. Interesting SEC welcome to this. This was weird. He asked him an interesting welcome to the SEC story, and he immediately started talking about Middle Tennessee guy being ready and knocking him in the chest before he even took his first step. You know what I mean? So it wasn't, I don't think he answered that correctly, obviously, because Middle Tennessee's not in the SEC. Maybe in future, maybe they will be. I don't know. But that's not an SEC opponent. You're going to tell me that you remembered getting knocked on your butt by a Middle Tennessee player at home instead of, hey, I went to Jordan Hare and I about crapped my pants. Or, hey, I went to Tennessee and it was scary. Or, hey, we played Arkansas and that was a tough game. Or South Carolina and that was a tough game. You know what I mean? At least talk about that. Also talked about his thoughts on offensive lineman transfer Gino Vandermark and Wolf linebacker Quay Russaw. Said Vandermark's an older guy and that this is his last year and he wants to do well. And then he talked about Quay Russaw, who's just a strong, fast dude that's all about business. He said both of them stand on business. They're both about that business. Best college athlete he's seen out of Iowa, he said Caitlin Clark. Best basketball player he's ever seen. Okay, guy. What have you changed within yourself? And he didn't want to be called the best player from Iowa, by the way, because I guess he thinks that he's the best player from Iowa or something. I don't know. What have you changed within yourself since last year's struggles? He said he got frustrated a lot. He thought too much. Just a mental challenge in playing in tough environments. And then to round it off with Deontay Lawson, the linebacker, he said, what is to see different from the defense in 2025? All have to be brought in right when the bowl game versus Michigan ended. He said that's his frame of mind, was right when that bowl game ended against Michigan. It was to buy in, to do everything you're supposed to do. To get more reps and just get better throughout the season. But he's excited about the defense this year. His thoughts on the quarterback from FSU, comments on Alabama. He said, people are going to say whatever they say to feel confident, to get likes, to get, views, whatever. I can understand that. Prepare and make sure that they're ready for August 30th. Good to see a hometown kid stadium sticks out in the conference. Every road game, SEC game is tough. Been to everyone and now going to UGA this year. Love wanting to clear out a home stadium when they're on the road. They want to clear out, Death Valley. They want to clear out certain areas. I think he also said like, good to see a hometown kid, you know, like he's a hometown kid, obviously, but like stadium sticks out in the conference. Like he rattled off Arkansas, Tennessee, and then Auburn. That's kind of disrespectful to Jordan Hare because like they've had too many close calls playing against Auburn in Jordan Hare. Like if you're Alabama, like you should throw the mad respect to Jordan Hare and Auburn. Like you go in there every year thinking that you're going to dominate them. And when you go into Jordan Hare, whether you're the better team, even with Bryce Young, even with Jalen Milroe, and you almost lose games, going to overtime with a Heisman winning quarterback, or 4th and 31 with a guy who's a Heisman contender and supposed to be a first-round draft pick. You know what I mean? Like, and you had a backup quarterback in TJ Finley going up against that Heisman winning quarterback, and then you have Peyton Thorne going up against Jalen Milroe. So calm down a little bit. Like you should at least throw some recognition, not some shade, but you should throw some recognition and some love at your rival first. And then maybe not put Arkansas in front of Tennessee because Neyland Stadium, I've never even been to Neyland Stadium, but I've been to Arkansas. And I guarantee if I walked into Neyland Stadium, I'd be scared for my life more than I was at Arkansas. Some of the leaders and mentors from his town in Mobile, Alabama, said his parents, of course, they've always been his support system. And then one of his high school coaches, Ronnie Catrell, did so much for him. Getting hurt in the Oklahoma game, and why did he return to Alabama? And he had dreams of playing in the NFL. And he needs to look past that and work on his craft, being a leader, being more vocal, building relationships, but setting himself up for life up, after football. If the NFL doesn't work, you could be a coach. You could get a job somewhere. I mean, Tyrone Prothro worked at a bank for the longest time. All right, but NIL probably would have helped him greatly. At least would have probably kept him from having to work at a bank to try to get, in the right frame of mind again. Or just, like I said, life after football. Journey mentally going through the injury. He said he's glad he's back on. He said he's glad he's on the back end of it. He said he couldn't do it by himself. He had full faith in God helping him, and then also the medical team. He can't thank enough at Alabama. Defensive leader in progression of Red Morgan and Yanze Pierre. Pierre's growing into an edge rusher, and he's gaining weight in a good way. Established himself a role in the defense as well. Talked about Red Morgan moving to corner. He's still learning. He gave everything he has. He's a freak athlete. All the tools to be great. And developing him into a scheme player and what's best for the team. And then he got asked his last question. Anything new or change in Kalen DeBoer in the second year? Said last year is hard to replace Coach Saban. To come in and take the job shows the confidence that he has in himself. Developed to try to imply his standards so early. And then everyone's buying into him. Like it seems like all the players are feeding off of Kalen DeBoer very well, and that we think that there's going to be a lot of positives and there's going to be a lot of good things coming out of the second year for the Crimson Tide under Kalen DeBoer. So that was everything that we broke down around SEC Media Days and the Q&A. I'm not there. I can't really give you like content on it, but I can give you at least my opinion and my thoughts. And just basically tell you what happened throughout that. But you can always find that on YouTube. You can always go back and watch a lot of those questions. I'm just like you. Like, I'm just an everyday fan that's just doing a podcast. But I can go to YouTube and I can find somebody that did their own recording or has the recording from the booth and watch it immediately after it happened and then give you my take on it. So let's finish out the rest of this stream by getting into On This Day in History, and then we'll get out of here. Well, did the wrong one. All right. So started the lunar cycle of Hilarious in 463. Crusaders herd Jews of Jerusalem into a synagogue and set it afire in 1099. That must have been like right after they conquered it, which was yesterday, during the First Crusade. The Islamic era begins in 622. Muhammad and his followers begin migration from Mecca to Medina. The Hira. I think you can actually watch on History Marsh like the start of Muhammad and like just how it kind of like came about. The Virgin Mary gives Simon Stock a brown scapular. That's a legend in 1251. The 6 electors of the Holy Roman Empire signed the Agreement of Rennes confirming Emperor Louis IV in 1338, coronation of Richard II, 1377, age 10, crowned King of England at Westminster Abbey, succeeding his grandfather Edward III. Joan of Arc enters Reims in 1429. Joan of Arc and French army enter the city of Reims. Battle of Monterrey. I think it's Monterrey. 1465, Battle of Monterrey between Louis XI Louis XI and the League of the Public Weal. La Paz, Bolivia is founded in 1548. The first European banknote was in 1661, issued by the Bank of Stockholm. John Adams graduates from Harvard in 1755. First mission in California, Father Junipero Serra founds Mission San Diego, which I'm pretty sure means a whale's vagina. I don't know. I don't really know. Scholars say the term was lost many years ago. But that happened in 1769 in California. The abduction from the Seraglio, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's opera Die Unterung aus dem Serail, the abduction from the Seraglio, premieres in Vienna with Mozart conducting in 1782. Let's see. Congress declares the city of Washington and the District of Columbia as the permanent capital of the United States in 1790. That happened. U.S. Public Health Services forms U.S. Marine Hospital authorized in 1798. French Papal Concord in 1801. Pope Pius the Seventh and Napoleon signed the Concordat of 1801, guaranteeing religious freedom for Catholics living in France. Russian Antarctic expedition in 1819. Fabian Gottlieb von Bellingshausen set sail to explore Antarctica for Tsar Alexander I. The Manassas campaign, which ended in July 22nd, that started in 1861. First U.S. Rear Admiral David Farragut is the first Rear Admiral of the U.S. Navy in 1862. Utrecht Swells Railroad opens in 1863. Amstel Hotel, the Dignified Old Lady, opens in Amsterdam in 1867. The report on the Jameson Raid in 1897. The Greco-Turkish War in 1921. Encouraged by the British, King Constantine of Greece launches a drive to take Asia Minor from the nationalists under Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. Let's see here. Was there anything I may have missed? No. Conference over German recovery payments begins in London in 1924. 1940, Operation Sea Lion, and 1940, Adolf Hitler orders preparations for the invasion of Britain. Operation Sea Lion. See, 100 degrees, highest temperature ever recorded in Seattle, Washington in 1941. Joe DiMaggio in 1941 goes 3 for 4, hitting in his 56th straight game. French police arrest 13,152 Jews in Paris in 1942. 1944, Dodgers score 800 runs against the Braves to win 8-5 to break their 16-game losing streak, and they will lose another 5 in a row. Trinity nuclear test in 1945. First test detonation of atomic bomb occurs at Trinity site in New Mexico as a part of the Manhattan Project in 1945. Catcher in the Rye, 1951, by J.D. Salinger, published by Little Brown and Company. That was in 1951. Transcontinental record, U.S. Marine Major John Glenn sets transcontinental speed record of 3 hours and 28 minutes in 1957. Mao swings the Yangtze. 72-year-old Mao Zedong swims the Yangtze River near Wuhan to prove his strength as a part of the launch of the Great Proletarian Cultural Revolution in 1966. Apollo 11 launch in 1969, carrying the first 2 men to land on the moon. We went to the moon in 1969. Who remembers that song? Best viewers on Auto, whatever, streamboo.com. Remove the space. Thanks, Autobiographical Nectar 9 in 1. Kuhn was reelected. 1975 Major League Baseball owners reelect Commissioner Bowie Kuhn to a 7-year term. Saddam Hussein rises to power in 1979. Reagan nominated in 1980 by the Republicans in Detroit. Soo Myung Moon sentenced for 18 years of tax fraud in 1982. Let's see. Plane crashes killing JFK Jr. in 1999. Jurassic Park 3 in 2001 came out, premiered in the US. The ESPY Awards, which I think are this week, today, whenever the hell it is, whenever you watch this podcast, nobody gives a shit. Shane Gillis is the host. It's probably going to be crap like normal. It's really just a popularity contest. It's really not fun, to be honest with you. I don't really enjoy the ESPYs. I don't watch that. That's the 11th ESPYs, and that started in 2003. Because Lance Armstrong won that one and Serena Williams won that in the 2003 one. Martha Stewart is sentenced in 2004 for 5 months plus 5 months for 5 months in prison plus 5 months in home confinement for lying to federal investigators. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince in 2005. 6th book in the series is published worldwide. 9 million copies sell in 24 hours. The Dark Knight Rises, 2012. That was an amazing movie, in my opinion. Let's see here. Trump picks Pence in 2016. Spurs re-signed Leonard in 2017 into a 5-year, $90 million contract. Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again in 2018. Helsinki Summit in 2018. Reverend Jesse Jackson steps down in 2023. All right, we don't care about her. We don't care about her, but we care about Mary Baker Eddy. She was born in 1821. She died in 1910. She's the American founder of the religious movement, Christian Science, and Health, born in Bow, New Hampshire. Ida B. Wells, she's an American journalist, civil rights activist. She was born in 1862. She died in 1931. Don't know any of these people. Orville Redenbacher, the American popcorn magnate, gourmet popcorn. He was born in Brazil, Indiana. He was born in 1905. He died in 1995. Let's see. Jimmy Johnson, of course, Miami head coach, Super Bowl winning Dallas. He's a national championship winning head coach for Miami. Super Bowl winning head coach, two-timer with Dallas Cowboys and Miami Dolphins. He's 82. He was born in 1943. We're going, Lady Bird. Let's see. Anybody else? Will Ferrell is 58. An amazing actor. He was born in 1967. Kim Rohde, she's an American double trap and skeet shooter. She was born in 1979. She's 46. Gareth Bale, he's a Welsh soccer winger. He's 1989. He's the same age as me. I like Gareth Bale. He's one of my favorite players, especially being Welsh. So that was really it. I didn't really know too many other ones. I didn't see anybody else. Adam Scott, Australian golfer. He was born in 1980. All right. So we're going to finish it up. Thank you so much for joining the Total Chad Sports podcast. Remember, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel or just send a donation to the channel to help out the dream, you can hit us up there, or you can go on Twitch and do the same thing. You can literally do $6 a month on the Twitch subscription. So like if you want to do that as well, you subscribe there. If you have Prime Gaming, you can have a free sub like once a month to like whoever you want. So why not use that on here? But also just make sure you follow us, like, subscribe on the YouTube. Make sure you drop us a follow on the Twitch channel, everything like that. But we just greatly appreciate giving us a platform, being able to be here and talk about what we want to talk about, and just bring this podcast to the world and continue the dream and continue to let you be a part of it as well. So you can talk and say whatever you want in the chat and be a part of the stream and help this stream in any way possible, because we want you to be a part of it. Like, we want you to be a part of the growth. That's the reason how you grow, is by growing an audience and growing a backing and growing that support that you need when you try to do these types of things. Even if there's no one out there and I'm just talking to space, I'm okay with that. I'll enjoy it. I'll continue to do it. It's going to be fun to me. So thank you again. Everyone have a good rest of your day. I'm out of here. Peace.
I'm handsome, I'm fast, I'm pretty, and can't possibly be beat.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone.
They might be going to call George Brett out.
Well, he's out.
Yes, sir.
Brett is out. Look at this. Brett is out.
He's steaming mad.
He is out.
Swung, fly ball deep left center. Grissom on the run. Yes! 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 The Atlanta Braves have given you a championship.
Auburn going after it. Here's a good snap. It is blocked. It is blocked. It's caught on the run. It's caught on the run. He's going to score. David Wagner. David Wagner has scored. And Auburn is tied the game.
It's good! It's good! It's good! It's good! It's good! It's good! Van Tippen has won the ball game. Alabama has beaten Auburn.
I'd like for the people to remember me as being a winner, because I ain't never been nothing but a winner.